Good afternoon, good day, good morning from wherever you are looking and whenever you're looking in Table Hockey Podcast number 3. Hello, gentlemen.
Is it 3?
It's third. It's third with Mikus. We had last week the second one before the Czech Open.
Of course, okay.
Of course, we have Mikus Saulitis.
Ciao.
Rainer Kalins and me,
Ciao.
Karlis Balodis. We have in the studio here some nice gifts from Czech Open. Some first place cup. Congratulations, Mikus.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Congratulations, Rainer. Looking at you and telling Mikus. But Mikus, you also played very well. You surpassed the first round of playoffs.
Yeah. As I said before the tournament, I was seeded as number 16, and it was important to get into the playoffs, to get okay opponent to play against, not top.
So remind me, who did you play against?
So it was Christoph Label from Czech Republic. Yeah,
Mm.
in January he was second in the local small tournament of World Tour, and I beat him 4-0. And in the next round, it was my good old friend Gint last month. Ciao, Gint. I played against him in Slovenia. It was 0-4. But in Czech Open, I was leading 2-0, but then I got Mikus syndrome, and I was not able to score goals, and Gintz beat me. So Gintz, I'm looking for the third round, maybe in World Championships.
So for those of you who do not know the Mikus syndrome, pretty much a week before the Czech Open tournament, Mikus lost in quarterfinals in the National Junior Championships against Christian Zemnickis, and in the last 3 games of the playoff, the series ended 0-4, but in the last 3 games he scored exactly 0 goals. So 15 minutes without any goals, and this time Mikus, aka the content machine, has been giving us
A lot to talk about. But let's jump on that a little bit later.
Yep.
Let's start with the tournament overall. So you were there a third time. You're second time in a row. And how did you like compared to the previous year? And what was the atmosphere? Because I saw that you were playing in the same arena, in the same place. So how was the tournament overall?
Yeah, it's always pleasure to play in Czech because the games are cool, and it's easy to play there. You don't worry about anything while you're playing.
The tables by themselves are prepared properly, right?
It was prepared properly. You don't need to adjust some left wingers or some other stuff. Just do your game, and that's it. Yeah, and according if we speak about the place, it's the same place as last year, World Club Championship. And I don't know, we get used to it. It's like our home.
This gives us like a home court advantage feeling, because this place in Menza Kajetanka, it gave us a lot of positive emotions last year.
Good memories, yeah,
oh,
of course.
Yes.
What was your feeling on the organization and tournament in general?
The good points. I like the cool points. So I loved the Vladimir Kraus. Yeah, he has developed the system, the application where you can just input the results on your phone,
Yes.
and you do not have to go to just to write it down. So it saves maybe a minute.
Yeah, you don't need to walk to the end of tables to write the results if you are winning. You just stay on your place, enter, score, step forward, and the next game starts.
You can, of course, do that. They have the tablets.
Yeah. Those who don't have this application, they can do it there.
Yeah,
but it's less crowded.
It's really, really nice. I remember last year that was a really big bonus on these tournaments, that you just don't spend extra time. You can focus on your game. You don't need to push around. As actually it was in Tallinn Cup. It was
Fight
a big
for the pen.
Yeah, there was fight for the pen. It was fight for the time, because everybody needs to write down their results. The groups are big, and the time between the games are really small, which is fine. When you don't need to actually run to the table, because I need to change the tables all the time. I just write down and just where's my next game. So this system is really, really awesome in that moment. Any other notes?
I was a bit bummed about they not having any live streams. The organizers didn't have anything that could I don't know, nobody knew about any live streaming, but Mikus came in clutch as always, and you did Instagram live for.
Yeah, because I was bombed by Karlis and others because they wanted to see the semifinals and finals, and then I turned my Instagram live, and like in 2-3 minutes there was 13 followers, not followers, but viewers, who was watching my live stream. And guys, maybe next year it would be nice to have a live stream. It's like a normal thing for a big super series, and
I don't know. I didn't check actually how many players were or how many people were watching the Tallinn Cup, but I would assume that the final games would be more watched. Of course, during the day, not so many people would be watching that, but especially the playoffs, that would be really, really fun and really interesting to be able to see. And for me, I was actually really waiting the live stream. I couldn't actually fight it, and then we pushed Mikus to.
You got it from me.
Yeah, we got it from Mikus, so that was really nice. I think we can immediately jump to the playoffs. We don't have too much to say about the round games.
The round robin matches, they were not as.
One thing from round robin I want to highlight against Lasmanis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is not playing regularly in this season because he lives abroad. But once he got in the tournament, he beat Matantsev, Nielsen in our group. Kobley, and he was first with a nice gap to the second place, and that was first surprise of the tournament.
Yeah, that was actually big. So round of 16, we had I would say many games, many nice games. Did something really jumped out?
For me, it's Gleb Storozhenko from Ukraine. It's surprise to beat Martin Madera with 4-1. It's I don't know which is the place for Gleb in world ranking, but it's huge surprise.
Usually after every tournament, me and Martin are texting in between. Tournaments, after the tournaments, we're DMing each other, and Martin told me that he couldn't take the pressure from the Ukrainians screaming all the time. So it was like a mental battle against the Ukrainians, and he couldn't focus because of it at all. So
that's bad. But you need to be prepared if you're going into this type of matches, and especially it's going to happen more and more in
nobody
World
likes to
Championship.
play against Ukrainians. They're very energetic and.
But they're bringing lots of energy into the game in general. So as we had like with the Russians as well, they're playing really united, and as well Latvians, I would say, in some of the tournaments where we're really rooting for each other. So we're checking in, we're like cheering for every win and every goal. So that's actually, it's nice. It is disturbing, but it is nice to have somebody like that. And we have Retis as well. The content machine. He also passed as a low-tier player, like lower seeded, to the next round.
Jakobs was struggling in the round robin. He in the first, after some 5-6 games, he was number 20 only. He was fighting for survival. But he get in the round of 16, round of 32.
Yes.
As number 11, and he played against Yuri Chilik, who was number 6 in his group. So he was like
he was underdog.
Yeah, exactly. But he beat 4-2, and
he moved on. But he moved on to the big ones, because actually, like, we were laughing in the first podcast with Edgars that there is somebody who is winning Reiners, who is winning Matantsev, and who is winning Edgars. So he did almost that. Not all of those players, but at least some. Because in next round, then we have starting some actual surprises. We have Jakobs Retis winning Yevgeny Matantsev.
Yeah, second time in 2 weeks. Matantsev loses against underdogs. That's really big surprise. And Jakobs Retis, as we already are laughing that he's our content machine. We are speaking about him every time when we meet together. And this time he also made us really nice content by beating 4-3 against Matantsev.
As I heard from Raivis Miglinieks, Raivis was texting with Yevgeny after the tournament, and pretty much Yevgeny has no actual playing experience while living in Germany, so that could be one of the deciding factors as to why he couldn't perform as well as he usually does. And after his series against Jacobs, I approached Yevgeny, and pretty much Yevgeny also didn't have any answers as to what happened with him. So after when he lost against Valts Magacs in Tallinn Cup,
that was even more brutal. It was
4-0, and Yevgeny told me just, I don't know what went wrong. I have no idea. And same thing happened with Jacobs. He couldn't understand. So what happened? What happened? Like how is it possible? And he beat me in the Swedish Masters final.
The rest of the games were more or less settled. Mikus, you had quite nice start of the playoff against Gint last month. Mm-hmm. You were 2-0 in front, and then lost 4 games in a row by just a smidge. Like two of the games, 3 of the games you just scored 1 goal, so it was a bad beat in there. You didn't do bad in the defense, but also the attack was horrible.
Gins changed his defense. That was not good for me.
Is he more passive?
More passive, and the games were really like very tense till the first goal, and Gins was more lucky than I was.
Then we're going to quarter-finals. And Jacobs Retjes again. Hello. 1 Patrick Peter 1-4.
Yeah, and in this moment I want to take my hat off to Jacobs. Big respect to beat two top 5 players in one tournament.
He had a chance to beat 3 of them.
He had a chance, but I think this is the MVP of the season material.
Oh yes.
Big respect to Jacobs, and before this podcast I checked that his first tournament was in 2019 and in 6 years he beats 2 top 5 players. Crazy. It's like how it's possible in 6 years.
It's a big glow up, and I would say the big things still needs to be happening from him, just to stabilize a little bit game, because we have seen big clutches, we have seen big losses, and let's hope for the best. So Jacobs, come on, man, let's go. Big things. We're going to be waiting from you. The rest of the games, I would say, Edgar Snaglis against Gins Lasmans.
Yes.
That was
yes. I saw that
7
show.
games.
So it was 3-2 for Gins, and he was going to the final. In the 6th game, he was even leading.
3-1. It was 3-1. He was
3-1. Yeah, but in the 6th game, he was 4-2 leading, and in the last minute, he started to speed up his game. He said that he don't know why, made the mistakes, and Edgar's scored 4 goals and came back into the series. And in the last game, he won.
He scored 21 goals in the last 3 games.
Yeah. He's how to say he finally found what to score against the Gins. And Gins
it seems like it. Everything went in.
Yeah. Those were not lucky goals. Those were really good ones.
Like center moves. The Baumann is shot from the right defender.
No. Also, from the defender, but also from the left wing, from the back of the net. Those passes went through well. And it was a pity for Gins, because he had this good starting point for his playoff brackets. Even to the final after Retjes beating two top 5 players, but he stopped in the quarterfinal.
Bad luck in there, but then we're moving to the semifinals, and here we almost had some surprise from Edgar Steitz. Edgar came in the lead 3-1 in the series. Mikus already started to stream in that moment. I was sitting in the evening quietly cheering and watching those games, and they were very close.
Very close, as always, against Edgar. It was such a struggle with him this time. It felt as if I played the same vibes in this tournament I had in the final of the European Championships, and I felt game 4, there's this overtime, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I lost the ready go, and Edgar's had the puck. I'm like, oh no, I had to win the face-off so that I could maybe have a chance. I didn't have any chance, and he scored, and he took the lead in the series 3-1. I'm like, oh my god. Edgars has only lost from being up 3-1 only twice in his career. In European Championships against Borisov in 2018, and against Hans Ostermann in one of the Riga Cup, the recent Riga Cups, I think in 2023. But he wasn't as serious against Hans, like in comparison to me. But somehow I managed to pull myself through in the game 5 and game 6. But in game 7,
in the game 7,
I can.
Do you remember?
I do.
Finger.
Tell us what happened.
So
finger.
Mikus, maybe you can tell.
I can tell. Yeah. There was 2 secret words like finger.
Yep, my father was sitting next to the table, and when the score was 0-1, I had a chance to score a center move. So my father's like finger, like, and I managed to score a naka. So and the sides was like Sandy, my dad, Sandy, no, do not coach in between games. Like,
do not talk during the game.
Yeah, and I think Edgar just got affected by it, and I managed to score a spias right after.
The game was really intense between both of you, and even something against you could also make trouble for you. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were both really into the game.
Yep, I think I almost messed myself over with the choice of the table I picked for the playoffs, because one of the sides in the Swedes had a very, very bad center move, and the Canadian ones, the other side of the table, they had a very good center move. And the side started the series with the Canadian players, and he went up 2-0. And I had to win the crucial game 5 when I was playing with the Swedes. Somehow I don't remember as to how I beat him in this game. Maybe I was a bit lucky, but it just kind of happened. And I had a lot of trouble in the round of 16 against Jakub Sladek. I was leading 3-0, and suddenly I just couldn't score my center moves at all because I was playing with the Swedes, and he managed to win 2 games in a row. And the 6th game was so intense. It was like 2-0. The music started to playing in the last 30 seconds, and he scored the Baumann shot from the right defender. I'm like, oh my god, I'm leading 2-1. Please do not score. I have to pull this somehow through. The center moves are not working at all. I was very nervous, but in the end I somehow hold the result. And in the next round against Koberle, I had no trouble at all because I put my earbuds in, and there was no stress at all, and I could score with the Swedes.
So what I hear, there is a moment when Reiners is scared and when he's stressed. So
of course,
let's keep that in mind for the next references. Sometimes I play against him without any intention that I'm going to beat him, and he slaps me like a little baby. And then when I put the pressure up, he sometimes he crumbles, and sometimes he misses the shots. So
yes.
for everybody who's still watching here, let's push some pressure on Reiners. The rest of the games, I would say, Retis and Naglis, the second semifinal was also very intense. Mikus was showing a little bit the game. The game 5 is really, really close. 6-5 was the result, and then the last game, Edgars came up into 6-2-1. Then we have...
Yeah, I want to speak a little bit about the semifinal because for Jakub Srećic there were no top 5 players, so he had no motivation.
I think in this case, Jakobs would be like really shot out all the bullets in there already, and he was angry for the last week loss. He came up and won Petr and Matantsev, but in this case, he just most probably had a little bit too much. The scores were all over the place as well, and he even managed to win one game against Edgar Steitz, so that was nice. But the rest of the final and the third place game was really, I would say, not so eventful.
According to ranking.
According to ranking. And we have top 4 Latvians. So
top 5.
Top 5. Month's number 5.
Top 5.
First time in history, top 5 in a Super Series tournament were just Latvians, and it has never been done before in history. So
that's huge.
I want to talk about Edgar Snaglis' successful tournament. If like before the tournament, someone will say that he will be number 2, I will call him like, are you crazy or what? But if we are watching the opponents in playoffs, there were no surprises at all for Edgars. He got really lucky bracket. He beat...
he actually did have some trouble against Anton Kimberg. He was down 2-3 in the round of 32.
That was his big trouble in round of 16, but then he got his brother, then he got Gins Asmanis, then he got Jakub Sretis, so it's a Latvian Cup. He got only Latvian Cup.
In that case, but I would say if you're playing, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not lucky playing against your native players who knows you well and who you know well. So in this case, he managed to play, I would say, really cool, really good.
That's exactly
and of course, he didn't had 2 top 5 players to beat, but I would say he played very well and very deserved 3rd place in Super Series. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations,
I was a bit surprised when you saw the live stream. That there is less people watching the final game, or the semi-final games in the arena than on live stream.
Yep.
On live stream there was 14 players watching, and in arena there was 3.
There are
and
4 or 5
all
people.
of those who were watching it, those were Latvians. And that was
there was one who wasn't. I saw.
There were 2 Ukrainians. I don't know the names.
Was practicing for next tournament.
In
the tables.
They're not watching. But I'm talking about
still
like actually people sitting and watching, and that was a little bit disappointing. Not to have too many people interested. I understand that the tournaments are long. Maybe in this case there is not so comfortable seating for all of that. But a little bit shame.
The thing that I found a bit disappointing or maybe even weird was that after the semi-final, people came up to me and congratulated me with the win in the tournament before the final. Come on!
And also,
oh my God,
those who went off, they even said that we already watched the final.
Yeah, and there were like 40 people watching in the arena. Like, hey Reiners, congratulations, you won. Have a good night.
It was a bit pity, but
So I would like to know why. I understand one of the big reasons most probably is there is not like 2 the biggest names playing in the finals, and as well in general the people are tired at the end of the tournament. But we had quite nice final actually in Tallinn, and there was many people watching. There was many people even watching the 3rd place game. So hope to have better participated viewership in that point at the tournaments, when you have people watching and cheering your game, and the opponent player also have somebody who's cheering him, so it's a little bit more fun for everybody. I think do you have something to mention? No,
I love the tournament. I really enjoyed every single minute of it. I really loved it, so props to the organizers.
It's always fun to play in Czech because all the players, they don't care about defense, and not because it's possible to score more, but the game is really interesting, and with a lot of strange combination that I never know it's
Yeah.
possible. And it's if you are deciding to go or not to go to Czech Open next year, it's worth it. Yeah.
Hope to go there as well next year. Thank you very much for episode number 3. Today's word's gonna be finger. See you in the next one. Bye.
Ciao.